Becca Nadercrom. We are DallasFortWorth.com. I want to talk to you about everything you need to know about Christmas Eve in Plano. So Christmas Eve, I mentioned before, is one of my most favorite days. It's a magical day. Everyone's in a good mood, and it's like literally that day is all about Christmas. So there's a lot of people who are complaining, I don't want to hear music yet, or all the movies or all the shopping yet. But by the time Christmas Eve gets here, we're in the final days here of Christmas. So it's such a magical time to get out with family, see what's going on. And so I wanted to mention a few things that I really want you to know what's going on in Plano on December 24th. So you're probably thinking, where can you go for dinner? Not every place is going to be open. A lot of the smaller businesses, they want to close shop. They want to be with their own families. They definitely need a break. However, some of the restaurants are still open. So those are Mignon, which is over at the west side of Plano, so Spring Creek, Preston area. 60 Vines. I hear great things about 60 Vines. Crew at the Shops at Legacy. Knife Plano, which is over at the district in Willow from Scratch. Susie Cakes. So if you need some baked goods, and why not? It's Christmas Eve. Susie Cakes is open from 9 to 5, and they have like the most amazing buttercream on top of their cupcakes. And one of my favorite steakhouses, when I used to travel, I used to always book my hotel either next to a Whole Foods or a Fleming Steakhouse, because I covered such a large territory in the Midwest, and I occasionally travel West Coast and East Coast. And so I would always run into a Fleming Steakhouse. They're not easy to find. And so super excited when one came over to West Plano, and it's right at the edge of the Shops at Legacy, right on the edge of the Dallas North Tollway. We also have Wu Wei Din, and that is in Central Plano, and then Princi Italia Plano is also open. Now, you might want to go to a Christmas Eve service. Who doesn't love a candlelight service? Whether you attend church regularly or you don't, I think there's something magical about it. Watermark Plano is holding a service. First Baptist Church in Plano is holding a service. St. Paul Lutheran Church, Prestonwood Baptist Church, of course, West Plano Presby, and that is the majority of the churches that are going to be holding services. I'm sure there's more. There's a lot of churches in Plano, probably one on every corner. So you'll probably find a place to go. All right. Lastly, Christmas lights. So Christmas lights are exciting for people of all ages. If you have your kiddos, this is something, I used to do after we would go to our Christmas Eve service at church. My parents would load us all up. Maybe we'd go home, put on our pajamas, and grab some hot chocolate at home. My mom would tear open the Swiss Miss packets and make that. And it was so exciting, super, super exciting. And we would go and just wander through the neighborhoods. We'd find some of the nicer neighborhoods that would have spectacular lights. And so some of those here are the Deerfield lights. So everybody I feel like knows about that. If you're new to the area, any part of the Metroplex, the Deerfield community, which is, it's not a gated community. It is off of Legacy, Preston, or Independence area. So West Plano, far northwest Plano. This whole community really participates big time, whether it's Christmas lights. The last few years, we've seen a ton of Hanukkah lights as well. Everybody gets in the spirit. And I believe that they do hot chocolate for sale for a nonprofit, and every home is really participating. It's phenomenal. There's might be just a few homes that just don't participate. So I really recommend. It gets really busy in there, especially as we get closer to Christmas Day itself. If you could park maybe away from the neighborhood and walk in, you're going to find it, I promise you, unless you have really little ones, you're going to find it so enjoyable just to walk through all of it. Bring your walking shoes. Maybe you'll catch a warmer day here in North Texas and walk through it all. That's really where you get that close-up experience. If you drive, you could definitely drive. I don't know how the residents do it because the traffic is bumper to bumper. It's insane. But you know what? Whatever works for you. If you've got your kids packed up with their pajamas on, you might need to just stay in the van. It's just probably easier that way. But it's definitely a must-see. And if you could do it on Christmas Eve, then I strongly recommend it. So there's also the lights at Legacy, and then Dickens in downtown Plano. I put that on here. Now, it is usually beginning of December that they hold that event, and it's just a charming event they've had for decades now, and they do that in a historic Arts District of downtown Plano. Hey guys, can you do me a huge favor? If you know someone who is moving to Plano or lives nearby, recommend they take a look at wearedallasfortworth.com. Over on my Facebook page, We Are Calling County. I live in Plano myself, and so I get a lot of questions over there on the page or private message to me about activities, things to do, questions about the area. I'm not a realtor. I'm just doing it because the website and marketing consulting is my business. So I'm just trying to be as helpful as possible, but there's no house sale on the other end of it. So I come completely neutral in my opinion, and boy, do I have them. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.